Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Right now I don't have a job, so I thought that the best decision was for me to move back in with my parents for now until I find a job, which is hopefully soon. I just want to talk about the recruiting process and how it can be so mentally exhausting, as well as the pressures of undergrad. This is like a little post-grad thoughts. I just know that I'm not the only one who feels like this based on my conversations with other people, and also by going on TikTok. Like, a lot of people are reflecting on it, but I just wanted to have a little more space than making like a 3-minute TikTok to talk about this. But basically, I want to share some of my thoughts on how the recruiting process is kind of exhausting, and just kind of being transparent about it, because I feel like a lot of people don't talk about this and they should probably talk more about this, because it's something that we all go through and it can get pretty exhausting. These are obviously my own thoughts, but I want to kind of create conversation about this to like normalize it a little bit more. So the whole recruiting process looks something like this. So you find jobs on like LinkedIn that you want to apply to, then you tailor your resume to that job, and you kind of modify it to what the job says. So I say, for example, me, I'm applying to some of the marketing fields. So I have like general resume ideas. Different jobs talk about different qualities, even though some of them are the same. So then I have to tailor them to those jobs, right? Then you have to create a cover letter, which is also a lot more writing. Then we have coffee chats, which are like 20 to 30 minute chats with people from companies, and you basically get to learn what it is like to work in that field at that company, but also in general. They give you tips, teach you more about the company, and then hopefully from that you'll get a referral. It usually happens if you have really good conversations, if the people like you. And getting a referral is, it looks good on your application, but you can also get jobs without referrals. And then after that is the interview process, which can be like 2 to 3 rounds or not even more. So as you can see, handling all of that work while you're also a student can be pretty tough. From my personal experience, I had to work because I was a master's student and I had to work to pay my bills. Also, coming from a PWI, which is a predominantly white institution, you can't see how people just get to live their life. They don't have to go to work, and they get to go on vacations. I had to work during spring break to make ends meet. So personally, I did have to balance all of that. Imagine also handling all of that with making sure that you're managing your mental health, you're doing good in classes, and just a lot more stuff that goes on in the background that I feel like not a lot of people talk about. But that itself is really exhausting, and it can get to you. I think that it can get to you even more as people start facing rejection. Obviously, you're not gonna get accepted everywhere that you apply, but facing rejection is really hard on top of that. Personally, I've been rejected to jobs. I would get so much anxiety getting that email from a company and having to read it, because it was a 50-50. They either want to talk with me, give me that first round interview on the phone, or they want to tell me that there's someone more qualified. When I started my recruiting process, it was more of those, we found better candidates, and it really got to me because I was telling myself I am not good enough, and I feel like that adds more exhaustion to your recruiting process. I feel like that can get to a person a lot. I took it way too hard personally. It was because of the reason that I was applying with a master's, because I graduated with a master's. I was at the Ross School of Business, which is a top business institution. And even then, just graduating with a master's, I thought would boost up my resume. And facing that rejection was a lot, because it made me think that I am not good enough, I'm never gonna find a job type of vibes. And I feel like not a lot of people talk about all of that exhaustion as a whole. Now I'm getting better at understanding that it's not personal, and the phrase that is always in my mind is that rejection is redirection. And so far I've been holding on to that belief that rejection is redirection, because it, like I said, it gets to you a lot. And every time that I would get one of those emails, I would feel like, damn, I'm not good enough. And I was like, damn, is getting this master's really worth it? My number one tip would be to just think that rejection is redirection. After a lot of rejection, it can get super hard to still hold on to that belief. But right now, I'm still holding on to that thread that rejection is redirection, and I believe in God. So it's kind of that like God has a better path for me. I also feel like as a first gen, we don't often get the chances to either take a gap year or be unemployed for a couple of months. I've seen this a lot with people who I've gone to school with, and they had to take loans out for school, and then, you know, having to start paying them off and all of that. Right now I feel really unproductive because I don't have a job, even though I'm going through the recruiting process. So it's just a lot of feeling unproductive because I feel like I'm not doing anything. Even though I'm applying to jobs, it just feels like I know a lot of people have already gotten a job and they have a start date. It just kind of makes me question myself. I also want to talk about a lot of LinkedIn. I feel like there's a lot of people that are really transparent and want to be like motivators on LinkedIn, talking about like, well, you know, today I got rejected from a job. Because a lot of what you see on LinkedIn is people saying, well, you know, I'm happy to announce I'm working for this company, I got this internship and all of that. But I feel like a lot more people need to be transparent about those rejections and kind of sharing words of encouragement. I don't know, I feel like it's so weird seeing people talk about rejection on LinkedIn, because a lot of people, like other social media sites, it is a highlight reel. I just feel like having those open conversations is really important because it makes you feel like you're not alone. Everyone at some place has been in that position where they get rejected from a job, where they don't have a job for a couple of months. So it is May 2nd. I graduated already with no job. I'm looking for a job. I am in the recruiting process right now, but I just wanted to I just wanted to talk about it to be transparent, because I know a lot of graduates feel the pressure to already have a job, especially like I said with LinkedIn, like, oh yeah, I got an internship already, blah blah blah. I've always felt that pressure even in undergrad when I wasn't able to get like top internships. It brings a lot of anxiety, and it definitely makes you question your worth. I still feel like I haven't graduated. I feel like school was my validation trait for so long. For 17 years, that has been my personality trait. I was an honor student, and I feel like that has been such a big part of my personality. Even if you just identify as a student, like you have been a student for so long, then now I have to go and find new personalities. And like looking at it now, I don't just want to be defined by my job, like, oh, you're a marketer, you're a consultant. I don't want that to be my path. I want to make something else out of my personality, seeing like, who am I now that I've graduated, now that I'm done with school forever. If any of you are feeling this way or have shared similar thoughts, definitely know you're not alone. I'm here unemployed and with a master's. So as cliche as this sounds, always keep in mind that rejection is redirection. I'm still holding on to that belief even after facing all of that rejection. I feel like you're moving on to better things, and hopefully you find a better path.